Hey guys, Reed Fused Auto Electrical. Behind me we have another epic work and play Ranger. This is one of two we've recently completed for a couple of business partners. They're carpenters by trade, so they're a little bit more storage focused in these canopies. Come check them out. Up front we've got an off-road animal front bar. We do a lot of these bars, quite a nice lightweight, stylish looking front bar. We do have a pair of EX2 spotlights. These are a Nava light. They are a fantastic unit. They give a lot of light output with a full lifetime guarantee as well. So even if that bracket breaks in an accident, Nava will actually come to the party and replace that light. Light force 20-inch light bar down the front. Down underneath the light bar, the number plate bracket, we do have your carbon off-road 12K winch, with obviously the lift up bracket for the number plate. Very common go-to for these vehicles. Carbon winches are just fantastic. I don't think they can be beaten. Walking around the side, we do have the Dobinson's 3.78 ton GVM upgrade. For these domestic vehicles, they're an absolute go-to, especially on these Rangers. It's a massive payload increase. We've gone for the remote res, gives you a lot of adjustability with those shocks. So these are a removable canopy. So if you do ever take that canopy off, obviously it's a substantial weight off that rear axle. You get your full three-way adjustable shocks, which allows for adjusting in that ride comfort quite well. With that GVM kit through Dobinson's, it does mean that you will end up with a Cat 6 indicator on the side. One big benefit to the Dobinson's kit with the Rangers, that drills into a plastic piece. So if ever you needed to, that is replaceable. There's no holes into the side of the vehicle. Up top, we do have a GME aerial, obviously the GME XRS radio inside the vehicle as well. Very, very common go-to. On the ground, we've got the ROH wheels with the Yokohama Geolandar XAT, the Geo16 all-terrain tyres. These are a fantastic all-terrain tyre for any of your, Monday to Friday driving. They'll handle anything you throw on the tracks. They're obviously not a full mud terrain tyre, but for the majority of our customers, this ticks the box perfectly. They have a fantastic load rating, keeping them legal and compliant with these bigger GVMs. Up on top, we do have a Rhino Pioneer 6 platform. These obviously are a staple go-to in these domestic vehicles, giving you another range of storage. We do have a 40-inch light force light bar up under the front. Again, we custom make these brackets to suit these light bars, mounted tucked right up underneath that platform in an effort to, one, reduce any sort of wind noise or any whistles, but also just gives it a nice sleek look. Up on top of the platform, we've got a 180-watt solar panel. That's charging directly into the auxiliary battery system. Up on the other side, we do have the Max Tracks with a set of KO and folding pin bracket set. One of the big benefits to these kits is if the Max Tracks are removed from the roof of the vehicle, the pins do fold down completely flat, horizontal, and then you have a complete surface across the top of your roof rack again for anything you want to stack up there. Down low, we do have a pair of the Fat Bars rock sliders. We have sent these off for a custom powder coat in an effort to match the tray base of the Tray-Tech canopy. Along with the bull bar, we've also done the same thing for that. Like always, we've got a set of the Light Force rock lights up on the sides of the platforms. We do use a lot of these lights. They are a 20-watt light per light. That paired with our switching systems or the Red Arc, Red Vision systems, we can actually introduce dimmable lighting as well. On the roof, we've got a 270 XT Max awning. Again, an absolute staple for these builds, especially where we're living here, southeast Queensland. Starting with the tray, obviously we've got a GT3 tray with a nice textured powder coat on the finish of the actual tray and headboard. We do have our keypad up on the headboard here again, gives you left, right, rear work lights with your water pump control from outside the vehicle. 32 litre underslung water tank that's down in the centre of the tray, up underneath, with an electric water pump, C-deck outlet at the back there as well. You will notice on this vehicle we have gone for the 2-pack colour matched doors, both in the toolbox and the canopy doors. They have been 2-pack to match the vehicle, of course. We do offer both 2-pack or powder coated options. Opening up into our canopy now, you can see they've still gone for a really decent sort of fridge setup here. So we've still got a 130 litre Bushman upright fridge. We do have the Red Arc Red Vision system here. We've still got sort of what would be our standard sort of power outlet. So you have 50 amp Anderson outlet, 50 amp solar input. You do have then accessory socket and dual USB as well, all mounted there on the side. From the Red Vision screen, we do have dimmable lighting control up above me, doing all the canopy lighting. We can control the compressor, we can control left, right, rear work lights around the vehicle, and we can obviously control the inverter as well. Now, if you were running a rooftop tent, this is typically where we'd switch your power to the tent as well. These can be expanded upon, so they come with, in our configs, we'll set them up with a 10-channel PDM, so it's 10 different switchable units. We can obviously incorporate into that and add an additional 10 as well. So if you did want to tie into more loads around the vehicle, if you had your EcoX soundbars or you have any sort of LED lighting, underlighting, the whole lot, we can control that from the canopy. We can also tie it into the auxiliary controls inside the vehicle as well. As you can see with these ones, these boys have really focused on storage. We've got this massive drawer system here with this huge slide out bench. Again, all lockable drawer runners, big stainless bench top, and then you've got this massive big drawer unit here. One difference in these larger drawers you will notice is we do have this stiffener in the center. That is required on these bigger units. Obviously you've got a nearly 800 wide drawer system here. So without that, there's a fair bit of flex in the center of these units. With these benches, the way that they're done, we've gone for this big nice drawer with this bench next to it in an effort so that if they are unloading any sort of power tools or any of their work equipment, they've got somewhere to dump it straight onto. You will notice on the other side as well, we've pushed the drawer bench so that it's at the rear of the vehicle. So if they do back into a job site, they can work from the rear of the vehicle without getting caught up around the front, having to walk around the front of the vehicle all the time. Up above the drawer on this unit, we do have a 600mm shelf. That's tucked up nice and high. These again offer huge storage spaces that otherwise it's just wasted space. It's hard to get stuff up into that area. So having those baskets is a massive advantage. Again, big note with these boys, they are carpenters and they are working out of these vehicles. So the internal door skin is a huge benefit there when anything inevitably doesn't get tied down properly, comes flying into the doors. If it does get damaged, it's going to damage that skin rather than actually popping through and creating what look like those pimples in the sides of your doors. These skins are a removable skin. It's about 12 bolts, so even if they do ever get damaged, it's an easy piece to order through us. We'll send you out a replacement skin. You can bolt it in, it's about 5 minutes work. Very easy to do, and then it keeps that canopy wall and door protected, looking tidy. LED lighting up above us, again, as always, these are both a white and amber strip. And then regardless of the color, through that red vision screen, they are fully dimmable as well. Central locking, gas struts. Now these doors do offer a bit of adjustability, so obviously in the domestic range, height's not as big of an issue. Some of the American vehicles, you may need to drop this door down a little bit lower so that it may sit here at its full open. That's an easy thing to do. We've got plenty of holes there for adjustability, so that's no problem at all. In this back left corner, we do have twin GPO outlet with also 2 dual USB sockets in this back left corner. This is majority of the time where they'll be using as their charging station with their chargers up on top of the shelf out of the way, easy to access. So it sort of makes sense to tuck it all down in this back left corner. Down underneath, so you will notice we have a drop down on the left side of this vehicle, again with an ARB twin compressor, 30-foot air reel on that left side. If you haven't seen these before, they're very simple to use. Little turn handle there. Pull that air reel out, pump up the tyres, do what you need to do, and you can wind that one back in, stow that away. As you can see, we do have LED lighting up inside this toolbox. It is also controlled from that screen with the canopy lighting and central locking as well. Moving to the rear of the vehicle, as you can see at the back of this canopy, we've left it pretty bare. Being a domestic and that it's a full-size canopy, you know, once you start adding another 100 kilos past the end of the tray line, you really start encroaching into that rear axle limit. We do have up on top LED work lights, again another couple of Rock 20s, fantastic little unit. Does all your blind spot and radar relocation kit along the rear of these trays as well. Your camera relocations down the bottom. We have set this one up for towing this caravan. The boys both have both camp trailers and caravans that they're dragging around, so that's all good and ready to go. And then we've obviously gone for the full 1 metre trundle drawer as well. As a common recommendation, we do have the stainless lift-up lid on this unit. These offer fantastic versatility as far as a nice workbench at the back of the vehicle. They are a 230 kilo drawer runner, so you can actually put a substantial amount of weight on these. We do have on the left side of that tub there, we do have your C-deck outlet on that side. So you do just screw your tap fitting into there when you need to use it for any sort of wash down purposes. As you can see, we've prioritised storage again on these builds. Massive big drawer unit on this right hand side. This is a mirror image on that left side of the vehicle. Huge big workspace, lockable drawer stays, giving you a really solid, reliable workspace. Moving forward, we've got another massive drawer unit here. This drawer unit is a little bit shorter. The main reason being we've got a 200 amp lithium battery stored at the back side of this drawer. Up top, we do have the slimline power panel. In this unit, we can still house a 2000 watt red arc converter. We've got all the circuit protection up in top there. And then obviously we've got an Anderson plug outlet, solar inlet, accessory socket and dual USB up top as well. So a nice sort of clean, simple right-hand side to this vehicle. This is primarily going to be used for some of their bigger items, so they don't need any sort of 240 outlets on this right-hand side. LED lighting up top, so massive LED strip lighting, central locking again. Fixed into the roof, we do have these uni struts every sort of 200-300 mil. And we do also have, you'll notice in the center, an air filter there. That air filter is just a Ryobi air filter, so it's quite an easy one to source. What its purpose is, obviously, it's for evacuating any sort of air. While that's actually driving down the road, it will actually create a vacuum and pull those canopy doors in, reducing any sort of dust and moisture ingress as well. So we do have on this right-hand side a drawer. The drawers still have all your LED lighting and central locking, so you still have all your functions. You don't miss out on any of that. You do have increased versatility. It's fantastic for any of your soft or annoying items to store. On the front of the headboard, again, both left and right-hand side, we do have our LED lighting control as well as water pump control. These are a full IP67 69K rated switch panel, huge in both the marine and motorsport industry. These have been a fantastic unit. We can do dimmable lighting through these switch panels as well. And then we can also tie them into both factory as well as the Canopy electrical systems. Those are powering obviously left, right, rear work lights, water pump. We do have on the headboard a couple of bypass connectors. So that way, if ever you do remove the canopy from the vehicle, you can still actually use all of your LED lighting and loads through those bypass connectors. These Rangers do come with a pretty decent factory switching system for any of your auxiliary loads. Now it is up in the roof console, you've got 6 switches. They are ignition controlled. 5 and 6 are set to default through the high beam as well. So they're fantastic for any of your forward facing lights, so your spotlights and light bar. We normally use switch 1, 2 and 3 for left, right and rear work lights. Switch number 4 does your compressor control as well. The main reason we still tie into the auxiliary switch systems that we have, the forward switches do only work with the vehicle on. So if you are sort of using them while you're driving, there's no issues there. But for any of your left, right, rear work lights, even if you wanted to quickly use the compressor while you are parked up, you then lose any of that control. 5 and 6 are default through high beam. So that's a nice easy unit there. So you can leave them toggled on. As soon as you dip your high beam back and forward, Ford takes care of all the rest. So we just wired them into that unit, keeps it neat and tidy, keeps it factory inside without clutter in the dash as well. Moving forward, we do have a Safari snorkel up front. Under the bonnet, we've got a Black Hawk diff breather kit with gearbox and gearbox as well. And then the last thing underneath is custom off-road bash plates, so a full stainless bash plate kit. So at least you know, being that we are doing Bribie trips, Fraser trips here in Southeast Queensland quite regularly, rust and corrosion is not going to be an issue. We're absolutely wrapped with how this build's turned out. Obviously it was storage focused, workspace focused. We think we've provided ample of both for these boys. If this ticks the boxes for you, reach out today.